Hello people of the earth and welcome back to QuickSaveTV. My name is Mike and today I wanted to talk to you about the new, how should I even put it, the new proposition, the new law that EU passed, the European Union, to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and Microsoft, or at least they convinced them, the way I understand it, in a new resolution, to basically monitor their sites, basically Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and well, Microsoft, I don't know how Microsoft is going to monitor them exactly, but they agreed to monitor their shit and basically crank up their fight against the free speech. They call it hate speech, absolutely. But the thing is that in this document is not really long, you should read it yourself. But in this document, the hate speech is not defined clearly. What is hate speech? Because, for example, in Russia, there is a law that says you're in the wrong, right? It is illegal if you promote social uprising, if you promote violence against any other group based on any characteristic. But there's no punishment for speaking out against anything. You can be as hard as you want on anything you want, except religion. That's another law that exists in Russia. There's a law that says, there's a law called On the Feelings of religious or something like this, right? And you understand how it is bad, right? Especially, like, for me, not so much. I have been an atheist for a very long time. I figured out, I think there is no God, I see no proof for it, and I see no reason to believe in any superior moral authority over me, so I just deny the concept of God altogether. But the thing is that I grew up, I was raised a Christian, right? A Christian Orthodox, and this is the, you could say, dominant religion in Russia. And the thing is that this law was passed after the girls from Pussy Riot. Remember this thing that they did the thing in church? I still don't know what I think about it, right? I understand the intention, but this law is just a little bit tyrannical. But for me, it's easy to avoid the effects, the consequences of this law. I just don't have to speak out against religion, or I have to be careful and reserved when I speak out against religion. Excuse me. So it's not too hard for me. It's not a big deal. But people like Christopher Hitchens, right? People like Richard Dawkins, people like this kid in Singapore, which I think you know about, right? If you don't, I'll tell you who this guy is. He got in a lot of trouble for harshly criticizing religion. But again, all he did was put out some offensive videos. And I mean, really, if religious people cannot stand a little bit critique, a little bit attacks on themselves, come on, really? They're not children, brother. They can absolutely withstand the criticism, because I'm friends with a lot of religious people, right? And the fact that I'm atheist does not bother them. They don't go ballistic on me every time I say something. I'm saying, well, I understand that you believe in God, but this is my position, right? I can communicate with them that it's not a problem. But the thing is that the new resolution, it's not even a resolution, it's a thing, right? It's a document. They said the internet should be a place for free speech, not hate speech. But Lauren Southern made a great statement. She said, it's the same thing, you idiot, right? Because in reality it is, right? Hate speech, anything can be constituted as hate speech. The video I did the other day, right? The response to gamer girls. Sure, I was harsh. Sure, to the point, I was unreasonable. Sure, I was very aggressive. I can agree on that, right? But if you take all the vitriol out, if you take all of the aggressiveness out, if you take all of the things that you would say, oh man, you didn't have to say that, you didn't have to do that. Okay, cool, but look at what I said specifically. They demand special treatment, they want you to step in for them, and basically in reality, what will it mean for women everywhere is that we will treat them as children. And there can be no equality between the sexes if one sex takes the responsibility, is judged for his or her actions, and the other sex is treated like children. I don't think it is acceptable. I don't want my mother, my sister, my daughters, if I have any, to live in this kind of world, and I don't think it's moving forward. I think it's moving backwards. You are free to disagree, right? But I gave you my opinion, right? Another thing about this thing, there's two fantastic videos about this. One from, I think, Black Pigeon Speaks, and another one from a great guy, right? He does a lot of very, very well-informed and very well-structured rants. Really cool guy. I'll post two videos in the description. I think he's called Tech Insider or Tech Analysis, guys. Really cool guys. You should watch both videos because they will put it much better than I do. I just wanted to say that I agree with both of the things that they said. Both things they said. The tech guy said that we have to protect it because freedom of speech is essential for us. I say as a species, I'll say that, right? I think it's a special, and you see that, right? I care about that. I'm making videos about video games, right? You know that. But a lot of my videos, since as early as Skyrim started, hello people of the earth. And because, I'm cosmopolitan. We are all people of the same planet. We are all members of the same race, fundamentally, right? We have very little difference between each other. Yeah, and, there's no reason for us to start censoring things like freedom of speech, because I think it's important for us to be able to say what we want to say, for ideas to mingle, for ideas to develop, etc., etc. And the Black Pigeon speaks. Black Pigeon can be really extreme on things, right? And I'm saying it, he can be a little bit extreme on things, but I think he made a great point, because the European Union is escalating situation in Europe with the migrant crisis, and I think there are better ways to handle it. Sure, we should absolutely help people in need, right? But we should not help them in expense of our societies, of our countries. We have to do it in a smart way, that economy doesn't get ruined, that we make sure that we don't import any terrorists. It's important. We did not forget the catastrophes, the things that happened in France. And these things could have been prevented if we were more careful. And we have to watch out for the future, right? It's not just about what feels right, what sounds good. It's about what is actually right and what is actually good for everyone. And we have to follow that, and we have to strive for that. At the end of the day, that's what I wanted to say. And the reason I talk about that is primarily because my YouTube channel depends on it, on freedom of speech. And you know that I haven't been using it all that much. The two controversial topics that I covered was this response to gamer girls, which was basically my attack on feminism, you could say. Because that's what a lot of feminists say and do. It's basically what it is. It's coming from the right place, I'm sure, but I don't think it has a place in the modern world for an attitude like this to exist. And the other one was about the gay rights, basically, and it wasn't nearly as controversial. I just went out and interviewed a bunch of guys and presented you the data of what I found out, and that's it. That's all I've been using, because I'm mostly doing videos about video games. That's what I'm all about, man. But I think I wouldn't be the person I am today without freedom of speech. I wouldn't be the person I am today without listening to all kinds of people of all kinds of things. I've listened to so many philosophers of today. I've read so many philosophers of the past, and it's really interesting. It's building character, it's building your persona, and without freedom of speech, how do you know that your kids will have an opportunity to do the same? How do you know that they will have their books not banned, their books not burned? And really, do we really want to regress to the to the Orwellian society? And you people in the West, a lot of you will not know what it is. But my family grew up in Soviet Union, okay? And this was scary. It was really terrifying. You listen to the stories, you cannot wrap your head around how scary it was. Do you really want to move to this kind of society? I mean, it is your choice, but I don't feel like you have a lot to say in the matter. Regardless, this is all I wanted to say on the topic. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a fantastic day. Check out the videos in the description, and I'll see you soon.